A moment. But first, NBC's Michelle Kaczynski is in Miami with details. Michelle, good morning to you.
Good morning, Meredith. We heard this recent TV interview done with Joran van der Sloot from behind bars in which he talks about teaching the prison guards English lessons in his private cell, now denying that he knows anything about what happened to Natalee Holloway. Well, her mother's attorney said Beth Holloway, hearing this, had simply had enough. She went down there to Peru, teamed up with a Dutch TV crew, got inside that jail, and let Joran have it.
I will pursue this with every ounce of energy that I have, and I'm not going to stop.
That was Beth Holloway 5 years ago. Her daughter Natalee had just disappeared on her high school graduation trip to Aruba. Last seen getting into a car with Joran van der Sloot. Today, Beth has kept her promise.
Well, good morning.
Has not stopped. This week, headed down to the dusty hills outside Lima, Peru, to Castro prison to confront Joran face to face. Beth, with a Dutch news crew, got inside the lockup where Joran is awaiting trial for murder, and he became her captive audience. Her attorney says for several minutes, Beth Holloway did all the talking. Very difficult emotionally for her, telling Joran that the United States is still watching him, that whatever happens in Peru, he still faces an indictment for extortion here. That if he knows something about what happened to Natalee, it's time to tell it now. Not 10 years down the road, but now. And this, her lawyer says, is what inspired Beth's jailhouse visit. Joran, in an hours-long TV interview behind bars, telling a Dutch reporter how he's been mistreated.
People bothering me, lying to me, you name it, anything else. That, I have a lot of anger because of that also.
Even admitting to extorting a huge sum of money from Beth in exchange for made-up information about where Natalee's remains are, but then blaming Beth and her family.
They were the ones that just kept contacting me and kept asking for it. So I said at one point, I thought, okay, I took advantage of the situation.
His lawyer says Beth told Joran directly she has no hate in her soul for him, and that Joran then handed her his attorney's phone number, saying he couldn't talk about it. Prison officials, realizing this was part of a television taping, hustled Beth and the group straight out of there.
Put a flyer in the window.
From the start, Natalee's mom has taken this case into her own hands. Even then, in Aruba, confronting Joran, his family, his friends. This past May, on today, the anniversary of her daughter's disappearance, Beth spoke of her continued hope.
I still feel that there is a potential for information, the real information to come.
On that very same day in Peru, student Stephanie Flores was murdered in Joran's hotel room, a trip he financed with the money he took from Beth. He's now accused of killing Flores. And Beth Holloway is still searching for those same answers about her daughter from the same person she started with on day one. And she felt this was her chance. Even Aruban investigators lately have been in no hurry to go down there and try to talk to him because they no longer feel it's likely that he'll tell them anything. Meredith?
Michelle Kaczynski, thank you very much. J.q. Kelly is Beth Holloway's attorney. He is with us exclusively. John, good morning to you.
Hey, Meredith.
So this came as a total surprise to you as well. She never told you she was going down to Peru, did she?
No, she'd already been there a couple days before she let me know she was there.
Why wouldn't she tell you? You're her lawyer.
Well, I've been her lawyer for 5 years. Beth knows I'm very measured and cautious, and I think she knew if she asked me what I thought, she might not like the response, or I'd ask her to think about it a little more before she
So you would have probably
took
advised
off.
her not to do it?
Not necessarily. I just think she'd made up her mind to do it, and she didn't want to hear anything to the contrary.
So when she called you from Peru before going to the prison, what did she tell you she was going to do there? What was she after?
She just said she wanted to see Joran. She didn't give me any of the substance of what she was going to talk about or the purpose or how she was going to accomplish this. That's all I knew, and she just wanted me to know that she was down there and that I had her back if something happened.
Now, how did she get it? This is a maximum security prison. How did she get in there with a Dutch television crew?
I have no idea, Meredith.
You don't know what went on?
No idea. I know she was in Castro, that she saw Joran. I know she definitely wasn't arrested, that a lot of people are reporting that nothing was taken from her. It was done you know, without violating any laws or breaking any regulations, but she did it.
You talked to her since she had that meeting with your aunt?
Oh, sure. Yeah.
And obviously you did. What did she tell you about the conversation?
Not much. I mean, she's been very guarded. She's been down there. She's on a cell phone. I'll certainly talk to her when she gets back, but I do know that she saw him, the substance of the conversation, or who said what, I can't share right now.
Now, you saw him, I guess it was last May. This May, you brought him $10,000 to Aruba as part of an alleged extortion scheme of his.
Sure.
To get money from the family in return for information about Natalie that was never there to begin with.
Right.
And you came on this broadcast shortly after and called him a pathological liar.
Right.
So do you believe going down there you could get anything out of this man?
Well, I don't think that was her purpose of thinking she was going to get answers out of him. I think it was more to deliver the message that he might be in Peru, but she hasn't gone away. She's determined to get answers, and you know, she wants to bring Natalie home.
Federal prosecutors in this country have charged him with wire fraud and extortion. Could her trip to Peru do any damage to that case?
Not at all. It has no impact on it. It will have no impact on it. And this was just a mother acting on her instincts with, you know, not trying to think about what the legal repercussions would be, which would be none.
Which would be none.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not just her lawyer, you're her friend.
Sure.
And as a friend, do you think she did the right thing?
If that's what she felt she had to do as a mother, and this is what was, you know, in her heart, and this what was driving her, and this is what she has to do, sure, she did the right thing. She's very determined, she's very motivated, she's very focused, she loved her daughter dearly, and she's being driven from the heart right now, and God bless her.
And will not give up. J.Q. Kelly,
Okay.
thank you very much.
Thanks, Meredith.
Just ahead, the alleged victim of a brutal attack in Washington State admits